that has been breaking into the villagers' gardens and eating their vegetables, and attempts to shoot him. Even though he's unable to murder Wallace at his home, Victor is able to confront Wallace while in his rabbit form at the giant vegetable show. Unfortunately for Victor, he accidentally reveals to Lady Toddington that he's aware that Wallace is the were-rabbit before trying to shoot him again.
Carrot floats in their soup!
Thankfully, Lady Toddington is able to spray Victor in the face with a weed killer before he's able to give chase to Wallace. During the final showdown between them, while Victor nearly succeeds in shooting Wallace, his efforts are undone after Gromit intercepts the golden bullet with his plane, and then getting knocked out by Lady Toddington hitting him with a giant carrot. Gromit then disguises Victor in a giant rabbit costume before sending him out in front of the villagers, who chase him off. Victor gets a ton of bumps and bruises during his fight, and while his fate is uncertain when the villagers eventually capture him, we feel like his placement is well-deserved. Next, we have Chantal Dubois from Madagascar, Europe's most wanted. Unlike normal animal control officers, who usually just release whatever animal is causing issues back into the wild, Chantal's goal in the movie is to kill Alex and the others. If that wasn't bad enough, she has the goal of turning them into trophies for her home. And while Chantal comes very close to her goal at certain points, Alex and the others are able to foil her plans while in Europe. First, by cutting the rope she had around Melman's neck so she landed in a pool, and then firing her from a cannon. While Alex and the gang reach New York, Chantal is able to capture them briefly before she's stuck with a tranquilizer dart from Mort. After she comes to, Chantal finds herself bound and gagged and is trapped in a cargo trunk on a ship bound for Madagascar, along with her henchmen. And sure, while Chantal eventually is able to get free after the ship reaches its destination, she takes her fair share of lumps during the fight. Plus, being unwillingly restrained and drugged, characters' fates are worse than death. What's more dangerous than a mad scientist? Well, a mad scientist with a vendetta. Enter Dave, aka Dr. Octavius Brine, from the Penguins of Madagascar. Nobody likes to be ignored, but Dave takes his rejection to super unhealthy levels, even before the movie begins, as he was once a beloved and popular octopus at the Central Park Zoo before the penguins arrive. After people begin to pay more attention to the penguins, Dave begins his plot for revenge. Dave recruits several other octopuses to his cause, as well as inventing a serum called the Medusa formula, which turns whoever it's used on into a grotesque monster. Nicholas Cage them. And while Dave is able to use the Medusa formula to transform a majority of the penguins into monsters, he's also defeated by his invention. During the scramble for the remote, which controls the ray the serum is fired from, Dave is caught in the blast after the penguins are able to gain control of the Guardians. Even though being the King of Nightmares is Pitch Black's job description, it's his end goal that makes him such a dangerous enemy. As he wants to plunge the world into darkness and fear, Pitch Black is able to trap and kill the Sandman in a dream to transform the dreams of others into nightmares. After most of the children of the world stop believing in the Guardians, Pitch Black is able to gain almost unbeatable strength. However, after the Guardians step in to protect the kids, they're able to restore strength back to Jack Frost and the others, which finally allows him to fight back and weakens Pitch Black. Sensing defeat, Pitch Black attempts to run, only to be stopped by the Guardians. And while he claims that he will never truly be gone, Pitch Black is dragged back into his realm after his nightmares sense his own fear, trapping him and dooming him to be tormented by his own fears. Pitch Black is seemingly immortal. Furniture. Lucky Blocks. Farm. And to be tormented by his worst fears, and supposedly, there's no way to escape. So yeah, Pitch Black's fate is the worst. Alright y'all, that's a wrap. What do you think? Do you agree? And did we miss any other DreamWorks villain non-lethal fates? Let us know in the comments if you agree with our ranking. And tell us which series you'd like to see next. Be sure to hit that notification bell so you don't miss new episodes of Good to Evil, featuring your favorite cartoons and video games. But most importantly, stay wicked. When it comes to Sony animation characters, there are plenty who are lovable, fun, kind-hearted, and heroic. However, for every hero, there has to be a villain, and Sony has plenty of them. From the mean, to the cruel, to the absolutely wicked. But which one is the best at being the worst? Hey guys, I'm Brad with Wicked Binge, and this is Sony Animation Villains Bad to Evil. If you've seen our Sony Heroes list, then you already know the rules. With the exception of the Mitchells versus the Machines, we're only going to be counting films that had a theatrical release, so no direct-to-DVD sequels. They also have to be under the Sony Animations name, either as an original Sony product or something Sony distributed. Finally, we're only looking at purely animated films, so no live-action animated hybrids like the Smurfs. Alright, time to rank some baddies. We're going to be starting with our least evil characters and working our way down to the truly evil villains. For our least evil villain, we're going with Erica Van Helsing. Being one of the few redeemable villains on this list, we couldn't think of any other character who deserved to be at the top. Although she started off just as murderous towards Dracula and the other monsters as her great-grandfather, it really didn't take Erica very long to warm up to the count. Given how she was raised, we can't blame her for having a hatred of monsters, and for doing things like trying to crush, poison, or manipulate Dracula. From her perspective, a legacy of wiping out so-called evil monsters. Once she realized how wrong she was, Erica regretted her lies, as well as the part she played in her grandfather's scheme. However, she made up for her mistakes when she saved Dracula's life during the Kraken attack and confessed her love for him. Because she saw the error of her ways and grew from a monster hater to someone who truly saw them as people, we felt we couldn't put Erica any lower on our list.
Hi. Whoopie-dee-ba-doopie.
Up next, we have the chill pirate, Black Bellamy. In Pirate's Band of Misfits, Black Bellamy is the primary rival for the pirate captain, with both of them being after the Pirate of the Year award. Naturally, Black Bellamy is much more successful in terms of plundering and stealing treasure. The dude literally rolls up to the pirate tavern with a whale full of gold. Now, that's style. Bellamy also makes fun of the pirate captain, his crew, and his ship.
Beer's looking great, my man.
Later on, when it looks like the pirate captain is going to win Pirate of the Year, Bellamy reveals the truth about the pirate captain being pardoned. Why is Bellamy not lower on our list? For as successful as he is at being a pirate, he's a minor threat compared to the film's big bad, which we'll get to later. Bellamy is egotistical and a typical rival character. While there's nothing wrong with a character like that, it
Hey, do
kind
you
of
want to play Warzone with me?
No. No, beat it.
I'll never talk. How about I beat you? I could easily
Don't get too
overpower you.
close. I won't hesitate to spit in your eye. Leave me alone.
Except the only thing making him an actual villain is his career as a pirate.
Hear those
Without all the
footsteps?
plundering and implied
Is that
murder,
Mom?
Bellamy
Yeah.
is just a
And I give
jerk
it about
and can't
15
compare to
seconds
the
before
rest
she
of
gets
Sony's
here,
villain
and I tell her
catalog.
that you
Following him
roundhouse
is
kicked
a
me to the
very
face.
similar
You
character, Tank.
10
Much like
seconds left.
Bellamy, Tank only cares about being the best in his field. In this case, surfing. With an ego the size of a surfboard, Tank treats everyone like dirt, whether they're a rival or not. Even little kids aren't exempt from this. Taking the only caring about himself aspect of his personality to its extreme, Tank barely notices when Cody nearly drowns during their surfing. Tank is also a huge cheater. In the final match, he attempts to knock Chicken
Oh my
Joe
gosh, you
off
guys
his
are twins.
surfboard,
We're
a move
actually
that could
not
have sent
twins.
Joe
We're
to the
sisters.
dangerous and
You guys
deadly
literally talk
graveyard
at the
area.
exact same
While
time.
all these traits make him
No,
much
we
worse
don't.
than
And you
someone
have the
like
same
Bellamy or
moves.
Erica,
What?
at
That's
the end of
so
the day,
crazy.
he's
Really
still
confused
just a
right now.
jerk job
Why?
character. So,
Oh my gosh, you
not
guys are
exactly
twins.
an evil
We're actually
mastermind,
not
and
twins.
as
We're
such, we
sisters.
couldn't put
But you
him
guys
any
literally
lower
talk at
down.
the exact same time.
I wasn't
No, we
posting. I
don't.
was talking to my friends.
Next is Chef
So
Quasimodo.
crazy.
This bell ringer turned manic cook played
Oh my
only a
gosh, you
small
guys are
part in the
twins.
first Hotel Transylvania, but still brought some level of tension and danger. Naturally, what brings him this low is his willingness and eagerness to eat humans, something that no other monster does. It's disturbing to see him happily roasting Johnny over a spit while Johnny is still alive. Another thing that separates Quasimodo from the other monsters in the hotel is his selfishness. He fights off Dracula's guards when he kidnaps Johnny, indicating that he doesn't really care about obeying orders or even keeping the hotel safe from humans. He just wants to eat. Quasimodo also reveals Johnny's secret, exposing Dracula's lies. So, not loyal either. It's no wonder that he's only in the first film. We're sure Dracula fired him quickly after all of this. But while he's definitely antagonistic and cannibalistic, Quasimodo is a minor threat and doesn't do much outside of his main scenes. Next, we have one of two hunters on this list, Shaw. While there isn't anything evil about hunting for food or just for a hobby, Shaw takes it to an extreme. Because of his belief that animals will overthrow mankind one day, Shaw makes it towards them as possible. It's gotten to the point where he enjoys attacking animals without provocation, like when he intentionally tried to hit Elliot with his car, nearly hitting several people in the process. He is psychotic and bloodthirsty, but as awful as he is, he's still just a guy with a gun, and he and the other losers are easily taken out once the animals take a stand. This, plus he only directs his axe craziness towards animals and not people, stops him from ranking above our bigger threats. From the great outdoors to the dismal, Smiler is next.